Sarah had always loved the freedom of the open road, the thrill of discovering new places and hidden corners of the country. But the first day of her cross-country journey from New York to California left her unsettled. Every mile she drove, every roadside diner she passed, felt uncannily familiar. Conversations with strangers mirrored ones she had dreamed about weeks ago, and small details, like the license plate of a passing car or the song playing on the radio, replayed themselves as if she were caught in a loop. By the time night fell, the eerie sense of repetition had intensified, leaving her questioning whether she was dreaming or trapped in some unseen cycle. The familiar faces, the recurring events, and the strange déjà vu made Sarah wonder if the road ahead was leading her somewhere inevitable, somewhere her mind had already visited long before. Stopping at a quiet gas station in Ohio, Sarah thought she could catch a brief moment of peace. Instead, she felt an unsettling tingle run down her spine. The cashier behind the counter looked at her with a strange intensity and said, "Good to see you again, Sarah." Confused, she glanced around, realizing she had never been there before. Security cameras above seemed to hum in a way that felt like a warning, and she could almost predict what the cashier would say next. Her hands shook as she bought a bottle of water, noticing the exact sequence of events replaying in her mind. A conversation she had not yet had. It was more than coincidence. It was as though her life had been pre-written, and she was stepping through lines she had already memorized. Each moment in that gas station deepened her fear and curiosity, pushing her further into the unsettling truth behind her experiences. By the time Sarah reached Kentucky, exhaustion from the road trip mixed with a growing unease. The hotel she checked into seemed ordinary at first glance, but stepping inside her room triggered a wave of shock. The layout, the carpet patterns, the paintings on the walls, even a coffee mug on the dresser. It was all exactly as she remembered from a trip she never took. Every detail mirrored a memory that didn't belong to her, twisting her sense of reality. She sat on the bed, her thoughts racing, as the déjà vu intensified with every passing second. Objects shifted subtly in ways she felt she had already seen. The feeling was almost prophetic, as if the room itself was whispering secrets she could not yet comprehend. Sleep offered no reprieve. Her dreams that night were filled with repeated events and faces that seemed to belong to a parallel life, leaving her unsure which reality she truly belonged to. Dining at a local restaurant in Tennessee, Sarah tried to calm her racing mind, but a stranger approaching her table froze her in place. "We met just yesterday, remember?" he said with certainty, though she had no recollection of him at all. The words sent a shiver down her spine, and suddenly the restaurant felt like a stage she had already visited. Each movement of the patrons, every clink of cutlery, repeated exactly as she had dreamed, a chilling mirror of events she could not escape. The stranger's knowing smile suggested an understanding beyond normal comprehension, and Sarah's heart pounded as she realized she was not alone in noticing the pattern. She began scribbling notes frantically, trying to map the recurring sequences, but the deeper she dug, the more fragmented and eerie her reality became. Tennessee, with its quiet charm, now seemed a puzzle designed to trap her within a cycle she could neither ignore nor control. Driving through a remote area of Missouri, Sarah's anxiety reached a new peak. She stumbled upon a town that felt hauntingly familiar, yet she had no memory of ever visiting it. Every street, shop, and face seemed pulled straight from her past dreams, as if the town existed in a memory of a life she hadn't lived. Maps and official records suggested the town didn't exist at all, leaving her with an unsettling paradox. She wandered the streets, trying to reconcile the impossible familiarity with the undeniable evidence that the town was off the grid. Shopkeepers nodded knowingly as she passed, the feeling of being expected washing over her. Each step confirmed that the events she had seen in dreams were happening in real life, and the town's existence seemed tied to the mysterious pattern of her déjà vu. Questions multiplied with no answers, pushing her further down a path she could not yet understand. In Arkansas, Sarah's experiences took a terrifying turn when she witnessed a car accident on a narrow country road. The scene unfolded exactly as she had seen in a dream just 2 days prior. The screeching tires, the sudden swerve, the moment of impact. She tried to intervene, to warn the driver, but each action she took seemed predetermined, part of a sequence she could not change. The realism of the event, combined with the prophetic nature of her vision, shook her to the core. Her mind raced with questions. Was she seeing the future, reliving a memory, or caught in a time loop? Passers-by ignored her frantic gestures, deepening her sense of isolation. The accident became a horrifying confirmation that her life was somehow entwined with a pattern beyond her control, and each repeated event seemed to pull her closer to a truth she wasn't ready to face. By the time Sara reached Texas, the déjà vu moments had become more cryptic, almost deliberate. In familiar parks, cafes, and streets, she noticed strange symbols etched into benches, walls, and sidewalks. Symbols she recognized from dreams she didn't understand. Each recurring experience seemed to carry a message, a puzzle pointing towards something long hidden. The clues, repeated across different locations, hinted at secrets buried deep within the town she had previously thought non-existent. Sara's determination to understand intensified, as did the eerie sense that someone, or something, was orchestrating the events she was witnessing. Every step revealed another fragment of the mystery, pulling her deeper into a web of repeated realities. She felt like a detective in a parallel universe, chasing answers that existed both in her mind and in the tangible world around her, a puzzle only she could solve. Finally reaching California, Sara's journey culminated in a surreal convergence of time, memory, and reality. Events replayed at an accelerated pace, merging her dreams, past experiences, and present moments into one disorienting sequence. She finally uncovered the truth behind the town she thought never existed and her recurring experiences, a hidden connection spanning generations, binding her to a pattern beyond her understanding. Faces, places, and incidents that had haunted her throughout the journey now revealed their significance. Sara realized that the repeated events were guiding her toward a purpose, a secret she was destined to uncover. Her perception of reality shifted forever, and she understood that déjà vu was not just coincidence, but a doorway to hidden truths. The journey had changed her, proving that some mysteries are meant to be experienced fully before they can be understood.